Back up and
Yeah.
running.
What's going
We're
on?
here. Just
8
hanging
weeks in
out.
the books.
I guess some Liberty Western Kentucky action we're watching.
Yeah. Well, Liberty got a pretty good run game.
Yeah.
I hate I had to miss the show the other night, but y'all were handling business, so
We do what we can.
props to you there.
You missing, we understand. Other people, it's just like, man, where you been?
I hear you.
Well,
I can guarantee you, Carter, I wouldn't have given you a hard time had I been here. So,
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
oh, okay. Well, I mean, there was that game this past weekend, but
Yeah,
I know y'all already covered that. So.
Yeah. Have you
Yep.
sit down, Moss? Have you sit down, sir?
all right. We got a busy week this week.
Mm-hmm. A lot
like
of good
BK.
matchups.
Have it your way.
All right. Pulling them up now with the spread so we can kind of figure this out a little bit.
All right. Whew.
We're going to kind of do this the same way we did last week. I'm going to give you a game. We'll pick a winner, and we'll pick what we think the spread is, what y'all think the spread is, because obviously I'm going to know.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to start with Florida State at Wake Forest.
I think Florida State's going to win.
Yeah, I definitely think Florida State will get that one.
And I think Florida State's going to be favored by 14.
14. All right, Hoss?
I'd say by 20.
On the nail, 20-point favorite is Florida State. That's one for Hoss.
Nice.
All right, here's another one. Oklahoma at Kansas.
Oklahoma should win.
Yeah, I got to go Oklahoma.
I agree. Now, what is the spread?
Go ahead, Hoss.
17.
17.
12.5.
Point for Carter. It's 10.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to pick up some actual real games here while we're doing this. USC at Cal.
Cal's really, Cal's, it's not going to be close. I think USC should win. I don't know. They've struggled lately, but they're going to bounce back.
They have
I
struggled.
get it's a road game, but it's not a real hard road game. It's just up the road, in Berkeley. So USC big. Go ahead, Hoss.
I'll say USC, but I think it'll only be like maybe 6.
6. And big is not really a number here, Carter. So,
Well, I didn't really say big. I just said I didn't. I don't know.
I think you said USC big.
Yeah.
14. 13.5.
13.5, Hoss. Your number was what?
I think I said 6.
All right, it's a wash. It's 10 points.
Okay.
All right. This one's actually more interesting than it sounds. North Carolina at Georgia Tech.
Go ahead, Hoss, if you want to go first.
North Carolina, I have no faith in Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Fair.
They're really bad. They did beat Miami, and that was a big upset win, but North Carolina should win this game. I know it's you said it's at Georgia Tech?
It's at Georgia Tech. Bobby Dodd.
Bobby Turd Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Spread-wise, I'll say 10.
24.
24-10. Now, here's a question. Will Drake make play?
Was he hurt?
I thought he did get hurt last week.
I didn't know that. The only person I knew that got hurt was Quinn Ewers.
I'm pretty sure he left the game hurt.
Ooh,
I could be wrong. I might be thinking about a different week. Either way, I'm with y'all. Even without him, I think North Carolina wins. I think that Miami game was kind of just Miami shooting themselves in the foot. All right, so what is y'all's odds?
10.
10?
What I said 28. Did I say 28?
24, I thought.
Or 24, 24.
All right, 2 points for Carter. It's 11.5.
Oh, okay.
All right, we got unranked Colorado heading to number 23 UCLA.
UCLA. Yeah. Big. I mean,
UCLA.
Colorado was like this, and then they just went whoosh.
14.
14, okay.
14. Uh, 15.
14 and 15. A point for Carter. It's 17. He
Hello,
prices right, your ass, Hoss.
Hello to Megan and Cran just joining us in the chat.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Hoss and Trenches. Oh. Thanks for my hand.
I saw an interesting stat today. So there's 130 teams that are ranked in college football as far as offense and defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Defensively, where do you think Colorado is ranked?
Defensively.
God.
What was the highest number?
130.
I'd say 115.
121.
They're 130. They're dead fucking last.
Whoa. I
That
knew it
That's
was
how many
bad. I
yards
know it
and
was
points
that
they're giving
bad.
up each week.
They still got a winning record too, don't they?
They do, but that means Vanderbilt, Hawaii, Kansas, all these teams have a better defense than fucking. That's sad.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. Oh, this is just a fun one here. Vanderbilt at number 12, Ole Miss.
My God. Ole Miss is going to kick their ass.
Ole Miss should, handle.
Yeah. But the fun part is, what's the spread? Crane says defense doesn't win championships. I think the last 2 national championships will beg to differ.
27?
27. Damn.
35.
Damn. Point Carter, 25 and a half.
Man.
All right, let's see. How about number 21, Tennessee at Kentucky? Carter, I already know you know what the spread of this game is.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, me and you can talk about it first, Hoss, and then we'll let him pick.
Yeah.
I remember before this season started, when we were looking at schedules, Carter has told me probably 10 times, there's one thing Tennessee don't worry about, it's beating Kentucky.
That's
I'm going to ride with Tennessee on this one because he's right. They've kind of manhandled Kentucky year in and year out.
I'm going to say Kentucky, but it'll be closer than the experts think.
Now, here's my thing, though, Hoss. We saw the first half of that game last week.
Do I need to change your pick on the pick'em then?
Me?
Huh?
Do I need to change your pick on the pick'em?
I picked
I
Tennessee.
thought I said Tennessee, didn't I? Say
You
You
said
said
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Oh, I meant Tennessee. Sorry.
Oh, okay. My thing is, Hoss, is like we saw the first half of that Bama game, what Tennessee's offense can do. If they put that together for 4 quarters, Kentucky ain't got a prayer in hell.
The question's if.
If. All right, so before we get to Carter, what do you think the spread is? It's at Kentucky.
9. 3? Really?
3-point spread.
Wow.
All right, Mr. Positivity, what you got?
Megan says the spread is Carter's butt cheeks.
It's 3.5 by diameter, so close enough. I don't know. Yeah, I said a lot of shit at the beginning of this year.
Especially about Kentucky.
Well, the thing I kept saying about Kentucky, yeah, I know I said that, but the thing I kept saying about Kentucky is that they'll start off really good, and then they'll just lose like a bunch in a row. And a former colleague of ours also would say those things too.
Yeah.
The one surprise to me was South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see that coming. I never thought South Carolina was going to win the East or anything like that, but I didn't think they were going to. Have they lost like 5 in a row? I mean, they're not going to make a bowl game at this point. That surprised me. And Missouri has surprised me on the opposite end of the spectrum. Those two teams, I figured South Carolina would be probably what Missouri's doing. Missouri's what South Carolina's doing, but
Right.
as far as the Tennessee Kentucky game, Kentucky has been very one dimensional, and Tennessee's defense is good enough. They can stop Kentucky, I think. Offense, of course, is always the worry, but I'm hoping that in years past, because the last how many ever years we'd always play Kentucky after Alabama, except last year. Last year we had UT Martin, and last year, had we had played Kentucky after Alabama, we might have lost. I don't know, but it seems like every year we get beat by Bama and we come out and take our aggressions out on Kentucky. I'm hoping that continues to be the same, thing.
Okay.
Lose to Bama, take it out on Kentucky the next week. So I'm hoping that we continue that tradition.
But if you don't, and it comes down to a field goal to win or go to overtime, you think
Well,
it'll
we've
get to
never
that?
lost. Yeah, we've never lost to Kentucky in overtime. We've been in a lot of overtime games with that team. Most of the time, we don't usually just kick Kentucky's ass. Like, that's a rare occurrence for Tennessee just to bitch slap Kentucky. Usually, it is always a 3-point game. It's always fucking close. I mean, in 2021, we beat them by 3 points. In 2019, it was close. 2018 was close. I mean, every year I can go back. I really can't remember the last time besides last year, that we just dominated Kentucky. So it's always very close. And it probably will be the same again Saturday.
You got a score prediction on it?
Yeah.
What you got?
27 21.
All right. Up next, rank versus rank. Number 8, Oregon goes into Utah.
Ooh.
This is a tough game to pick.
This is the game of the week, I think.
Yeah, as it should be.
Game day's going there. Oh, boy.
I think Oregon will win.
Yeah, I think Oregon will too, because we found out after Utah's game Saturday that their starter, or who's supposed to start all year, Cam Rising, medical redshirt, he's not playing. So the whole, wondering if Cam Rising's back this week, that shit's over with. But and what's crazy is Utah is as good as they are. Their quarterback's only thrown 3 touchdowns all year. That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's thrown 3 TDs and 3 fucking picks the entire fucking year.
So they're just riding defense, pretty much.
Yeah.
Run game.
Must be.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I'm taking Oregon as well. I don't know.
Spread
Utah.
wise, I'd say 9 points for Oregon.
Okay.
I'd say about 7.
Point Hoss 6.5.
Boom.
All right. World's largest cocktail party in Georgia, Florida, in Jacksonville.
Oh, Jesus.
Carter's got to want Florida to win this to make that that loss look a little better, maybe. Or...
Well, he also
At
needs
this point,
Florida.
it don't matter.
Oh, okay.
What's crazy is Florida's quarterback's pretty damn good.
Yeah,
His
Graham Mertz
stats
is doing great.
hardly. Look it up. I know who Unk's picking.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, Crange's Florida by 20. That's a bold prediction.
That is
Mhm.
bold.
I don't think it's
People
that
relying
bad.
on that Brock not being in that game.
Man,
I
I just
think-
don't.
Yeah, I think Georgia finds a way to win. They're not
Yep.
gonna. They're not gonna let one player being out
No.
affect the overall game plan.
The
think
thing
it's-
about this game that I'm kind of leaning on is their defensive coordinator came from Kirby. And they're running the same kind of defense Georgia does. And the last coordinator who tried to run Georgia's defense against Georgia was Oregon. And we saw how that played out. It's really just coaching is what I'm relying on in this game. I feel like Georgia definitely has more 5 stars, better roster, more depth, and better coaching. The question is can Graham Mertz keep doing what he's doing? Because the last 2 weeks, he's been one of the best QBR rated quarterbacks in the country. And ETN is playing lights out as well.
Right.
It's going to be interesting, but if you're a Georgia fan, this is the one game you cannot fucking lose. Not even just because of the rivalry. If we lose this game, but, we could lose Tennessee and still make it to the SEC championship, right?
Mhm.
You lose this game, you're 1 behind with Missouri knocking on the door next week.
Right.
You have to win this one.
Mhm.
And I think Kirby's going to have him ready. This is a game he does not sleep on. He wants to beat Florida just as much as the fans do.
Spread 16. And that's probably being very generous.
Awesome.
So he said 16. I'll go 14.
14? 14.5. Started at a 15, dropped down to a 14.5.
So people are putting money on Florida to cover.
Yeah. I think they do cover. I think this is going to be a close game. I think the battle between Beck and Graham is going to be great. I just think, I'm thinking and hoping Georgia pulls it out.
I got you.
How about this one? It's kind of fun. Oregon State at Arizona.
Arizona had a big win.
They did.
No, they don't. That's right. They didn't. They fucked it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Oregon State in this one.
Beavers are playing. They're for real. I mean, they're a good team. I don't think they're a playoff team, but
Well, they're better than Arizona, though, right? Like, it should be obvious who wins this game,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
All right. So, that being said, what is the spread then?
3
Mm,
3 points.
Okay.
9.
It's 3.5. And I'm kind of baffled that it's that low.
Have you seen Arizona though? Like every game they lose is close.
Yeah, that's true. Unc says Georgia hasn't had a real opponent this year. That's true. And y'all lost to Georgia Tech, who's not a real opponent to anybody.
Oh. I like Megan's comment. Beavers, LOL.
There he is. Are we talking about Arizona? That's pretty much it for the week. Like I said, there's probably about 4 or 5 good games. You got the Tennessee, Kentucky, you got the Georgia, Florida, you got the Duke, Louisville, Oregon, Utah.
You're forgetting like huge, like
What you got?
okay, like I can't believe nobody has pointed this out yet. But you need to cover on.
We're only 20 minutes into the show.
Ha, ha, ha.
What are you doing?
Really, Carter, you got to take the good momentum we had going. You got to fuck it all up with that. You know
All
what?
right, so-
I'm glad Tennessee lost this past.
Yeah, that's the only reason you're happy they lost to Alabama.
Yeah.
Here's a topic for you guys.
Hey,
Go ahead.
Milrow threw to 8 different receivers on y'all.
Mm,
8 different receivers.
damn. I didn't realize
That's for that
this
one.
triggered you so much, Hoss.
You done fucked up, Carter.
Oh, crazy. He
Um,
was looking forward to that at the end. Yeah, it's going to be nice to have a bye week and just kick back and watch all these games go on. Yep. it'll be
Hoss, how
nice.
you feel about sign stealing?
Sign stealing?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's been going on probably as long as football's been a sport, I would imagine.
Now, have you paid attention to what's going on in Michigan?
Yeah, I think they're being investigated for that, right?
They're being investigated. Multiple sources have came out about this. The guys literally go into all the opponents, their games,
Yeah,
stealing signs, and then using it against them.
yeah, because you're supposed to only just you can watch tape on a team, but you can't
Mm-hmm.
physically be there.
Here's the problem I'm having with it more than anything, Hoss. This might be the best year Michigan's had, right?
Yeah.
And in a long time. NCAA has came out and said, yeah, unless something drastic comes, we won't start fully investigating, we won't start implementing the punishment until 2024. So you're going to let them possibly go to the playoffs, possibly get a national championship, knowing they cheated to get there.
Yeah, that's
They're not going to do anything to him. Come on.
NCAA has been pretty serious about this one because they're not letting it go.
I think Michigan's going to end up taking themselves out of it. They're going to lose one of these games late in the season.
Think Ohio State gets them?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I just don't think the NCAA is really going to. I don't know. It's a sticky situation because I think 15 years ago they would, but nowadays the NCAA used to have they were a lot ballsier years ago. I mean they would punish teams. It didn't matter who you were. Like
here's what I don't get though, Carter. And I get what you're saying. You're right. But at the same breath, if that's the case, if you know we're not going to do shit about it, we're just going to bring it to the public. Why bring it to the public in the first place?
Well, I mean, because they got to protect their whole thing. Like,
but if the protection means, hey, we're just a slap on the wrist, and that you ain't doing shit.
Well, that's what they've been doing, though. I mean, even
right. So
to
something
my
has
school,
to change. There has to be some kind of repercussions for some bullshit. Even if it's not sign stealing with Michigan, let's say fucking South Carolina is fucking. God, what's worse than sign stealing? I don't know. Doing some shit. Somebody needs to start getting punished for this shit, or it's pointless.
well, you're not wrong. But the NCAA is all about that money, and Michigan brings in a lot of revenue to the NCAA. And there's some schools that, like I said years ago, they'd punish anybody. I mean, it did not fucking matter, But the game's changed a lot since years ago. The TV, I mean, every game's pretty much televised. Grangis is right. What I'm about to say is a blue blood. They'll get a slap on the wrist. Might be different if it was Houston. Exactly.
Maybe
They are-
there's another type of stealing that might go on.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just saying they're blue. Like Crane just nailed it. They're blue blood. They bring in too much money. The NCAA. They don't want to risk, all those millions of dollars being lost because they'll give Michigan a scholarship reduction and they'll be on probation for a few years, but they will not get, and I'll say it right now, they will not get a postseason ban. Guarantee you that. They will not get any fucking championship stripped. Nothing like that.
I don't know if you got to cheat to win, I guess.
Well, Crane just also mentioned we haven't mentioned the biggest game of the week in his eyes: Mississippi State at Auburn.
That is a big game.
Is anybody picking Mississippi State in that game?
No.
No, I wanted to pick
Auburn
Mississippi.
Auburn showed once again last week they're not a great team, but they can compete with the top.
Yeah,
They gave Ole Miss a pretty hell of a good run for their money for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Now their fan bases can't show up for shit, but their team's doing good.
I don't know. They look like they had a sold out crowd there Saturday.
No, they can show up to the stadium. They just don't show up to other things we need them for.
Oh. Yeah, it was. Stadium was packed.
It was. It looked like he had a good time. Man, I'm gonna need Western Kentucky to wake up a little bit.
But can you have a good time at a game if your team loses? I'm not saying that you can. I'm asking you. Like, do you think you can?
You can make the best of it, and you can also, as a fan, just show that you're going to stay there and not leave early. And
well, I know you, Hoss. You will never leave early for anything.
No. If I'm there at the game, I'm going to stay the end, win or lose.
I just meant in general, whether it's a game.
I think it depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Like, I've left the cocktail party fucking furious. But, like, November, that situation. Georgia loses. All right. It happens. But at least I got to see something new, something cool. You know what I mean? It depends on what's going on. It also depends on what that loss implies. Like, you lose to a non-con during the regular season, you're upset, but you really don't. You're not pissed.
Mm-hmm.
Give me just 1 second. Switch my headphones real quick.
Okay.